Welcome back on The Perspective. We're talking about a mobile app called Go-Jek. Now, one of the most crucial part when you embark on this project is recruitment. How you recruit your Ojek drivers, riders, and how you train them. There's a level or phase. So how did that go?
I would say from the very beginning, when we were just starting out the project, we were actually just asking family and friends, do you have your langganan with Ojek drivers? You know, we would like to start a new project where we're going to introduce like a new concept and stuff like that. And it actually was a very slow growth. It went from 0 to 20. And
in a span
of 2 weeks.
Okay.
And then what we did was, with those 20, we actually gave them a higher kind of like job on being like kind of field supervisors, where we said, you guys are in the Ojek community, why don't you go out there and try to recruit more drivers, and we give you a commission. And it grew from 20 to 200 in another 2 weeks. And that's actually our it's kind of been our kind of core on Go-Jek right now. And Nadim can follow up. It's basically, we have a team of SPVs now, field supervisors that go out there, and we have these like driver brochures, and we take them in, and we go through a pretty big interview process, because we have to concentrate on the trust issue that we were talking about as well.
Yeah.
So specifically so Mikey explained the mechanism of how to resource. Now the screening criteria, I'll kind of go into it. So we do a variety of checks.
Right.
So we ask them to submit a surat domisili where they live. We ask them for a jaminan, meaning either their ijazah or their latest degree, some ownership documents for their motorcycle, or even their kartu keluarga, the original, as collateral, if you will. We also do a face-to-face interview where we have a behavioral test, we have a navigation test, and we even do background checks where we actually call their wives and inform them that they're actually, you know, now a partner of Go-Jek. And if they're not married, we call their parents or their neighbor. This is a very important kind of KYC process to validate that that really is that person. So you can't just become a Go-Jek driver. You got to go through the ropes, and if you're okay, then you get accepted. Now, just because you're accepted doesn't mean exactly you're going to stay as a Go-Jek partner, because then you have to perform. Every single booking that you use the app for, you're actually forced to rate the driver 1 to 5 stars. And you can have a feedback box. Now, if he gets a low rating, there's disciplinary action that can get him.
There's a review of the kind of service that you provided. Now, all these are written in black and white between you and the Go-Jek drivers. There's some sort of contract that's going on. So do you give probations 3 to 6 months or a year to the Go-Jek drivers?
Absolutely. We regularly release drivers if they're not polite to customers, or if they were maybe asking for a tip, which is totally against our customer service standards. Right? We're all about world-class standards for an industry that is perceived as being, you know, informal, kind of not very service-oriented, but we disagree. We think that they're some of the most service-oriented people. So world-class standards with Ojeks.
Is there also this soft skill training is also being given to these Ojek drivers, and as you know, basic courtesy towards their customers, or does this come along with the personalities that you choose?
Correct. I mean, like right now, I mean, from being an Ojek driver to Go-Jek, you're now representing a brand, you're representing an image. So you know, we advise them to smile at the customers, greet the customers, also like just confirm their order, so they have their mobile phone that where they can actually show, okay, this is where you're going from, this is where you're going to. So all that is actually part of our SOP.
And are they also being taught on how to anticipate? Because it's in the service industry, in the service sector. It's one of the things that that will be very attractive, is how to anticipate what your customers need next. You know, does that come in the module of training as well, or
in terms of I think from the customer's perspective, I mean, I've had Go-Jek drivers being like, oh, which route would you like to take, or something like that, in anticipation. I mean, if you're trying to be in a hurry, then maybe they could try to figure out fastest routes. I've actually learned a lot of back streets from being on the back of a Go-Jek. You know what I mean?
All right. Now we'll talk more about the application itself when the perspective returns from a short break.